Alright, good morning or good evening kung gabi nyo man ito pinapanood. So, we are here to do a quick demo on the exercise you are going to do on Inkscape for this week. So, we'll draw the Lego Minifigure head as you have probably seen in your learning guide or the PowerPoint. Also, I provided a step-by-step guide on PowerPoint if hindi nahihirapan kayo i-pag-load yung video na ito. So, you may follow that. Alright, on with the demo. So, I hope by this time you have installed and explored your Inkscape. So, what I'm doing here is just scrolling up and down. Tapos, pag hinold ko yung control button, you have zoom in and zoom out. Siguro yun pinaka-basic na dapat natututunan nyo na ngayon. And then, when you have zoomed in or zoomed out, you can hold the wheel, yung scroll wheel ng inyong mouse to drag the working area. And again, control and scroll wheel to zoom in and zoom out. Kasi importante yan, no? Sa pag nag-work tayo ng vectors. Lalo na pag yung may mga maliliit na details na gusto nating makita. Alright. Okay, so we'll start drawing the main head. So, we have here a rectangle. So, itong tool na to ginamit ko. The rectangle tool. Drag lang natin, no? And then, ibahin natin yung setting. So, ngayon, siguro kasi nag-try ako kanina, kaya ito na yung setting niya. So, right now, I have yellow na fill and black stroke. Makikita nyo dito, nakalagay dyan, no? Click to set fill. So, ibig pag kinlik ko to, yan, magiging red siya, no? Pero pag ang pinindot ko ay shift-click, yung stroke yung magiging red, no? Pero ngayon, ayaw natin ng stroke, wala muna tayong stroke. So, shift-click ako dito sa none, shift-click, and then click ako sa yellow. Ayan. So, you now have a yellow rectangle with rounded edge, no? Pero sa inyo siguro, most likely, ang lalabas ganyan, naka-square edge muna. Alright, so let's change the dimensions according to the specifications given. Makikita nyo to dun sa PowerPoint. We set the width to 50 millimeters. Yan, naka-mm na ako. So, kung kayo hindi pa kayo naka-mm, you can set it here. Our height is 42 millimeters. And then, R sub Y, or the radius of curvature sa edges, would be 10 millimeters. Click enter, and you have your shape. Yeah, that's the first shape we have. Yeah. Alright, now we make the bottom peg. Yung bottom peg, let's make a rectangle again. Alisin natin muna yung rounding of edge. Our dimensions are 30 mm width and 7.5 mm in height. Ayan. Okay, set that aside. Dito muna yan. And then, we draw the top peg. Ito medyo gagamit tayo ng ibang technique dito. So first, gawa muna tayo ng rectangle that is 24 mm in width and 4 mm in height. Ayan, 4 mm in height. And then, we make another rectangle. We set it at 24 mm and width, and then 8 mm height with RY of 4 mm. Ngayon, itong dalawang shape na ito, pagko-combine natin sila. Kasi ang gusto natin, something like that, ano? Parang semicircle siya na flat yung edge. So, what we need to do is use this, yung align and distribute function. Kung wala pa kayo niyan, kung hindi pa yan nakalabas, sa akin kasi nakalabas na siya dito sa kanan, you can find it here sa object, and then when you click this align and distribute, lalabas yan dito. Right? Now, we select both objects. So, first object, and then shift, and then the other object. Pwede nating i-center sila on a vertical axis. Makikita nyo, mag-move yan, magigitna sila. And then, ito, align bottom edges. Alright? Now, yan yung gusto nating itsura, no? Pero right now, they are still two separate shapes. No? Makikita nyo yan, they are still two separate shapes. So, gusto natin sila pag-combine. So, we drag both, no? Para ma-select natin both. Yan. And then, we select path, and then union. Yung union, pinagko-combine natin ngayon yung dalawang shapes. So, yan. So, now we have combined them both. Ngayon, gusto natin, pagkabit-kabitin na ito, to assemble our head. So, ito muna. Siguro, let's go with the top first. So, we select the head, the main head, and then the top peg. So, again, naka-hold ako sa shift para ma-select ko both. Tapos, align natin horizontally, central, align on vertical axis. Ibig sabihin, center horizontally. And then, gamit tayo nito. Align bottom edges of objects to the top edge of the anchor. Yan. Alright? So, napunta siya sa ibabaw. We do the same para din sa ilalim. So, select the main head and then the bottom peg. Tapos, center natin horizontally. And then, ito naman, yung kabila naman. Align top edges of the objects to the bottom edge of the anchor. Okay. Ngayon, minsan, pwedeng nagkakamali-mali tayo dyan, no? Kasi, halimbawa, minsan, gusto natin, kanina, ang ginawa natin, ulitin nga, i-undo ko lang. Kanina, ang ginawa natin is that, yung bottom peg, dinikit natin sa main head. Paano kung nagkamali tayo, halimbawa, ang nagawa natin, ito, tapos finalo natin yung same step. Pero yung main head yung gumalaw, no? Pwede nyo namang i-undo, just make sure lang na ang nasusunod nyo kasi ito, yung relative to first selected or last selected or biggest object, no? Ako medyo nasanay na ako sa first selected, pero you can play around with this, no? Para makita nyo kung ano yung effect sa pagpapagalaw natin. So, okay, tuloy natin. Yan. Alright, so now, we have the head. Alright? Ngayon, gawa naman tayo ng face. Sa paggawa ng face, simulan muna natin by making a drawing guide. So, gawa tayo ng drawing guide. I'm gonna use a reference. Kumbaga, pag nag-sketch tayo, no, parang magdodraw muna tayo ng rectangle to have our objects placed there, no? Saka natin buburahin na lang yung rectangle. So, I start with rectangle. Siguro, alisin na lang natin yung rounded corners, no? Let's just use red, I guess. Tapos, set natin ang dimensions ng first rectangle natin to 16 mm width and 10.5 mm height. Yan. Tapos, gawa pa tayo ng isa pa ulit. The other dimension naman ito is 8 mm width and 5 mm height. Ayan, alright. Tapos, idikit natin sila dito. Pwede kayong gumamit ng align and distribute, again, para paglaruan nyo na lang kung alin dito yan, no? So, I guess, use this one. Tapos, this one. Ayan. So, something like that, no? Kung hindi man, kung gusto nyo manually, pwede naman, no? Nagsasnap. Meron tayong mga tinatawag na snap, S-N-A-P, parang si Santos, di ba? Snap. Yung snap na yan, or yung corner to corner na lumalabas dyan, ma-activate nyo yan with this. Merong menu dito sa kanan, ano? Makita nyo yan. I hope nakita nyo yung mouse pointer ko. Ayan. Dito sa kanan, andyan yung mga snap. So, paglaruan nyo na lang kung alin dyan yung mga applicable sa inyo. So, enable snapping. Tapos ako, nakaselect ako ngayon sa, ayan, snap nodes, paths, handles. Meron dyang, ayan, meron ditong snap to centers, etc. Okay, paglaruan nyo yan. So, you should have something like this. Ayan. Again, this will be our drawing guide. Ngayon, draw tayo ng mata. So, I use the circle, no? Let's draw a circle. Tapos, iset na lang natin siya at, i-color natin siya ng black. Ayan. Tapos, iset natin siya, yung size niya, to 5 mm by 5 mm. Alright? So, yan. Circle yan, no? 5 by 5 or 5 in 5 inches, 5 mm diameter, no? And then, gawa tayo yan. Pwede tayo copy and paste, no? Control C, Control V lang yan. Control V lang yan. Control C, Control V, or pwedeng right click, copy paste. Tapos, ngayon, pwede natin tong ikabit dyan. Enable muna natin yung snapping to center. Ayan. Or center of rotation. Ayan, center of objects. Ayan, snap center of objects. Para makakabit tayo doon. And then, ayan, idikit natin siya doon, no? So, ginamit natin yung rectangle na yon to make sure na yung spacing in between the eyes ay tama. Gets? Okay? Sundan? Alright, so we'll draw the mouth, no? Sa pag-draw ng mouth, gagamitin natin itong Bezier curve tool, no? Bezier curves and straight line. So we select this one. Tapos makikita nyo dito meron siyang iba't ibang mode, no? Yung mode na gagamitin ko is the B-spline path. Ayan, B-spline path. Ang ginagawa nito, magdodraw siya ng curve along the path na ibibigay natin sa kanya, na straight path. Alright, so using this tool, makikita nyo dito, no? May mga option tayo to snap dito. Again, kung wala pa kayong snap options, pwede nyo paglaruan yung mga menu dito sa kanan, no? To figure out yung mga snap. Yung snap mo, parang si Thanos again, it allows us to stick to points, no, to corners, no. Ayan. So dito, gamit yung B-spline path, let's draw the mouth. So click tayo dito sa first corner, and then click tayo sa corner na ito, and then click tayo sa corner na ito. Ayan. So nakatatlong click na ako. Makikita nyo, ayan, yung blue dyan, yung curve, yun yung dinodraw natin, no. So after the third click, we right click outside. Ayan. And now, you have the mouth, no? Medyo manipis yung mouth, so kapalan natin. I'm gonna set the stroke style, no? Kung di pa nakalabas yung stroke menu sa inyo, ito, yung nandito sa kanan, fill and stroke. You can open that here sa object and then fill and stroke. Ayan. Pag kinlik nyo, lalabas yung menu. So, fill and stroke, let's set it at 2 mm para makapal. Ayan. And then makikita nyo, no, medyo weird kasi parang flat yung edge ng smile, no? So bilugin natin, gamit natin tong rounded cap dito sa fill and stroke. Ayan, round cap. Ayan. So now, we have the face. Ayan, mas mukha ng Lego face, diba? Tapos na tayo mag-drawing ng face. So pwede na nating i-discard itong drawing guide. So select yung red box na yan, delete. Select the red box and delete. Ngayon, itong face natin, magkakahiwalay pa, no? Meron tayong mata at bibig, magkakahiwalay pa sila yung ating eyes and mouth. Pwede natin silang i-group together para kahit i-move natin sila, hindi na sila mag-iiba ng distance from each other. So we just select them all and then object tapos group. Yan. So now, yung face natin, ayan, magkakadikit na sila, no? Ayan, nakikita niyo. Kahit i-move ko, hindi na sila magbabago ng position relative to each other. Alright, so we want to place that on the head. So gamit tayo ng align and distribute again. So select the main face, shift, select the face, the drawing ng face, tapos center on vertical and center on horizontal. Ayan. Mapapansin nyo, no, kung if you were able to play with Lego, no, alam nyo na parang it looks off, no? Parang mataas yung muka. So, nung dinedesign ko ito, tong icon na ito, ang naging sukat ko, no, ang naging measure ko is I should lower the face by around 5 millimeters. So, how do we do that? So, ngayon, naka-center siya, no? Naka-center siya dun sa main head. Gusto natin siya ibaba. You can select this face. And then, makikita nyo dito sa taas, sa X and Y. Ayan. Yung X and Y dito refers to the X and Y position niya in the workspace, in the working area, kung saan tayo nagdo-drawing. Alright? So, gagawin ko, kung ano man yung dimension dito sa Y, kung ano man yung nandyan sa inyo, bawasan nyo ng 5 millimeters. So, I have 228.685 as my Y value. Bawasan ko ng 5, so I will make it 223. Then, click Enter. Ayan. Now, the face, I think, approximately looks better, no? Mas tama. Mas realistic sa actual Lego minifigure. Ayan. Alright. At this point, actually, mukha na siyang Lego head, di ba? Parang kompleto na siya. Pero, gusto natin i-stylize para maganda, no? Ilagay natin ng shading para mas maganda yung itsura. Alright. Let's start with shading the main head. So, ito munang main part ng head yung lalagay natin ng shading. So, we select the head and let's make a copy. Yung copy lang dito is copy-paste, no? Control-C, Control-V. Control-C, Control-V. Tapos, gawin natin tong olive in color. Palitan natin para yun yung color natin ng shaded. Ayan, olive. Alright? Set natin yung dimensions to be a little smaller than the head kasi para yung shade nasa loob lang siya ng shape, no? Let's set it to 48 by 40 mm. Yan. Tapos, let's make a copy of this again. Control-C, Control-V. I suggest gawin nating red para contrast, na nakikita natin yung contrast. And then, gagamitin natin ito pang delete ng certain parts na gusto kong matanggal dun sa olive green. Let's set this to 40 mm by 42. 42 yung height. Ayan. Alright, so ayan. It's slightly narrower and slightly taller, no? Gusto ko silang pagsamahin, so select ko both, tapos align natin sa center, vertical and horizontal. Ayan. So you should have something like this. What I'm trying to do is to explain to you is makuha ito, no? Ito yung nai-imagine ko kasi na parang shading on the sides, tsaka itong kabila. So I'm gonna use the red part to delete, no, yung portion na yun from the olive green na shape. And we can do that by the function difference. So select natin yung both shapes. Yan. Tapos path, tapos difference. Yan. Ayan. So nakita nyo, with the difference function, na-delete natin yung red part. If you want to explore yung iba pang functions dito, ayan, pwede nyo paglaruan yan. Yun yung difference, intersection, mga ganyan. Alright? So nakuha ko na yung gusto kong shape. Lalagay natin ngayon dyan dito sa head. So we select the yellow, yung head, and then the shade. Tapos center natin horizontally and vertically. Ayan. So meron na siyang parang shadow ano, no? Parang may shadow na siya dun sa face. Gusto natin ngayon gawin, kung if you can imagine it in 3 dimension or a shaded drawing, dapat light yung isang side, dark yung isang side, no? So gamit tayo ng fill. Kung naglaro kayo ng paint nung bata kayo, alam niyo to, no? Fill, select fill, tapos let's select the color white. Tingnan niyo yung settings nyo. My settings here is 29 sa threshold and then 0.5 sa grow shrink. And then we close this, we click it here. Ayan, alisin muna natin yung stroke. Walang stroke. Ayan, sorry, naka black stroke ako. Sa inyo dapat walang stroke. And now you have, ayan. So mas mukha siyang shaded, di ba? Alright? Ayan, so we have shaded yung main face. Ulitin natin ulit yon, yung same steps with the top peg and bottom peg. So medyo bibilisan na lang natin dito kasi I think gets nyo naman na yung step by step, no? Gawin ko pa rin step by step pero mas mabilis na. So I'll make a copy of the top peg, Control-C, Control-V, change it to olive green. Ang dimensions natin dito is 22 mm by 6 mm. Ayan. Then we make a copy. Let's make it red. Set the dimensions to 18 mm by 8 mm. Yan. I-align natin sila horizontally and vertically. Path, difference. Okay, I have the shades now. Select the top peg and then yung shade niya, align center, horizontally and vertically. Gamit tayo ng fill bucket, set to color white, and click this one. Do the same for the bottom peg. Control-C, Control-V, make a copy, make this olive green, set the dimensions. Ang dimensions natin dito is 28 mm by 5.5 mm. Make a copy, Control-C, Control-V, set to red. Tapos, dimensions natin for this one is 24 by 7.5. Center natin sila sa isa't isa horizontally and vertically. Path, difference. Click natin itong bottom peg and then the shade. Center horizontally and vertically. Bucket tool, set to white. Click natin to. Yan. Okay. Stylized na, no? Meron na siyang shade. Just to make it look more like an icon, no? Or just to give it more detail, lagyan natin ng stroke. Alright. So, yung kanina, when we started working, no? Nung nag-draw tayo, sinabi ko early on na wala mo ng stroke yung shape, no? Kasi yung stroke, no, it gives you a certain thickness or outline outside the shape. And it affects the dimension of the shape as you are working with it. So, very important kasi yung mga dimensions na yan, lalo na if, halimbawa, you are designing something for a laser cutting project, no? Na, importante yung tolerances natin, no? Yung dimension natin, eksakto. It's best to work with shapes na wala mo ng stroke. And then, kung gusto mo ng stroke, lalagyan mo siya sa bandang end part na pagpatapos ka na with manipulating the shapes, no? So, now, we are almost finished, no? Natapos na natin yung Lego Minifigure head. Pwede na natin siyang lagyan ng stroke. So, select the shapes, no? Yung yellow shape. So, the top peg, the head, naka-shift ako para ma-select lahat. And then, the bottom peg. Let's go to stroke. Set natin siya at, ito, black, no? Shift-click to black. Ayan. And then, set nyo at 1 mm. Ayan. Kung hindi ganyan itsura sa inyo, baka iba pa yung setting. So, dito tayo sa stroke style. We set it at 1 mm. Click enter. And there you have it. So, you have finished the exercise. So, save nyo na yan. Baka mawala pa. Save as Inkscape file. You are going to submit this to your teacher through K-Hub. Alright? So, I hope natutunan nyo. No? Feel free to rewind, recap this video. Fast forward, ibahin nyo yung speed, however it helps you, no? And again, as I mentioned earlier, meron din akong ginawang PowerPoint presentation that contains the step-by-step guide to this. So, pwedeng yun ang i-follow nyo kung nahirapan kayo i-download yung video, or pwede nyo gamitin ng sabay, no? Kasi kung gusto nyo nasa PowerPoint yung mga dimensions nakasulat doon, no? So, you can follow both. Alright? Okay, so I hope this helps, and feel free to consult with your teachers, no, kung meron kayong mga tanong at meron kayong mga ibang hindi magawa, no. Unfortunately, sa face-to-face kasi mas madali nating mapag-usapan to, pero now we have to stick with this tutorial video and step-by-step tutorials. Right? Okay. Ending the recording now.